Thank you very much. Pleased to be here to speak about one of our recent projects which we've done for Niti Aayog, uh, including there is a book also being published by the Oxford University Press on this. It doesn't deal with the same cases as we dealt with under the recent contract with Niti Aayog. Let me situate it in the backdrop of the classical uh, conundrum that the civilization has been facing is the environment versus development debate, or the what is more important? Are environmental issues more important, or livelihood issue more important? People at large, at the bottom, the common person would still vote for development because he or she is more concerned about uh, finding food and so on. But anyway, that is, I think, a contextual statement which is important for us to understand as to what happens when many of these environmental related disputes go to the courts. The the issue raised by you, Anita, was the issue about the dismal state of enforcement of contracts and pendency in judicial making. They definitely add enormous cost to running of businesses in India, and one of the facts which have been highlighted by the World Bank periodically in its assessment of India's rank on EODB. However, equally relevant, and if not less relevant, is the neglected component of judicial decisions and their unintended economic consequences. These are two different issues which we must understand and not conflate one with the other. And let me give you instances of two cases, for example, the coal block case or the 2G spectrum case. The Supreme Court cancelled all the allocations with one stroke of the pen without considering alternatives to punish the erring parties. Or take the recent example, a very live example which happened just the other day, the demolition of the two towers at Noida. Uh, the question has been raised by some people in the media. Was it not possible to put the towers to a better use, such as old age or shelter homes, rather than to destroy a very big asset? Indeed, it is built on illegal grounds and so on. But with due respect, hasty decisions create ambiguities and uncertainties in the minds of businesses and investors and can lead to what we call a chilling effect. Industry would think 100 times before expanding or investing, thereby holding back the country's economic growth. Moreover, these decisions do not strike at the core of the matter, as I was saying earlier. That is, the corrupt officials who are hand in glove with the unjustly benefiting parties. Such officials often end up going scot-free and do not bear any consequences of the misdeeds. It has been reported that there are allegedly 22 government officials who had colluded with Supertech in the Noida case nearly 2 decades ago for the illegal construction. Of these, 2 have since died and 20 others are in retirement. There is some inquiry which is going on against some of these people, but we don't know what is going to happen. In any event, as I said, all the relevant colluding officials have all retired. On the other hand, stakeholders such as workers, communities, smaller suppliers, service providers, and consumers dependent on the industry in question, the whole construction industry in question, often suffer unintended adverse consequences of judicial decisions without any fault of theirs. The Supreme Court itself, in a landmark judgment, what is called the Shiv Shakti Sugar Mills, has highlighted the need to consider the economic impact of its decisions and thereby dispense economically responsible justice. This is under Article 142(1) of the Constitution of India, which requires decisions to look at things in a holistic fashion. It is with this spirit that we examine 5 decisions of the Supreme Court and the National Green Tribunal, the one referred to by Anita in her opening remarks. First was the Goa Foundation versus Sterlite Limited and others, the Goa iron ore mining case. The Hanuman Lakshman Aroskar versus Union of India, the Mopa Airport in Goa case, The third was the Tamil Nadu Pollution Control Board versus Sterlite Industries, the Sterlite copper plant case. The National Green Tribunal Association, Bar Association versus the Ministry of Environment and Forest, the sand case. And the sand mining issue is a ubiquitous issue all over the country and involves mafia. But anyway, and finally, the NCR construction ban case in the Vardhaman Kaushik versus Union of India. We estimated that during the 3 years period from mid 2018 to mid 2021, at least 75,000 persons were adversely impacted directly, and around 16,000 workers lost their jobs. The government did not receive revenues of around rupees 8,000 crores, which, if were received and invested as capital expenditure, would have resulted in positive economic impact of more than 20,000 crores. The industry lost close to 15,000 crores in revenues, and workers lost around rupees 500 crores of income. The Supreme Court judgment in the matter of Sterlite copper plant at Thoothukudi alone resulted in a consolidated loss to the economy of more than 14,500 crores. In addition to the direct impact, around 400 business development on the copper plant, employing approximately 100,000 or 1 lakh persons, were estimated to be adversely impacted. Better ways could have been thought to deal with such situations containing the environment damage and disgorging the unjust gains made by the wrongdoers. By the way, we don't still have a good law on unjust disgorgement. Disgorgement of unjust gains made by the wrongdoers, which we need. I mean, there have been cases. As a way forward, we recommend the judiciary to institutionalize a mechanism to undertake cost-benefit analysis of its possible decisions on an ex-ante basis. This could be done by constituting a committee of experts for collecting and analyzing evidence. Experts would be across the broad stream, identifying erring parties, and supporting the court in reaching a balanced decision. Informed decision-making process by the judiciary, keeping in mind the larger objective of human centricity of economic development and environmental sustainability, with equal considerations to equity, environment, and economy, is essential for sustainable economic development. Thank you very much.